Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. It's a very young channel. There's very few of you watching at the moment because, I don't do that many videos yet. And I've only just started. And already I've had 2 worldwide blocks on videos. So I'm obviously using the wrong ones. If anybody knows the ones you can use without getting blocked worldwide. I mean, yes, there's going to be a country here and a country there where it blocks it. But I just wanted to have a little chat about how I can get around this. As you can see from my hourly video, unless everything's changed in minutes since, I was able to upload it to Dailymotion, and I put a video on YouTube with the Dailymotion link in it. That's one way to get around it. Another way to get around it, I think they call it syncing or something like that, where I watch the video, listen to the audio, and you don't hear any of it, but you are given the link to the song that I'm listening to, and you watch it from there with me. It means that, of course, the whole song gets played then without any breaks, because that's the easy way to do it. It also means, like, what am I here for then? Because unless you actually enjoy listening to me going on and on and on and on, maybe some of you do. Maybe some of you like a bit of somebody to go like, yeah, I agree with that, or no, I disagree with that, but I want to involve myself in the discourse. Just like to say to record labels, licensors, etc., etc., channels like this aren't about taking away your income, your band's income. They're about promoting your bloody bands, your artists. And I would say a lot of artists, especially modern ones, don't mind this sort of thing. In fact, some of them encourage it. Some record labels encourage it. Some of the, to get the word across, because a lot of bands aren't that well known, even if you think they are. I understood it happened recently that Japanese licensors slammed copyright strikes on several very good YouTube channels to block their content and to maybe take them down, which is even more stupid. That just means that your artists in Japan, talking to the Japanese licensors now, your artists in Japan will not get the exposure that they need to grow. They will just be Japanese bands in Japan, and every now and again a Westerner will hear them and go, whoa, that's really good, I'll try and get that stuff. Otherwise, none of us will know about you. The reason I know a few Japanese bands now is thanks to other reaction channels. I hadn't heard of any. I ignored them. I've been to Japan. I've listened to a couple of songs from Japanese artists, a couple of very interesting albums I've got by the Japanese artists before now, but never really heard anything about the rock and metal side of it very much. What I did hear, Deer and Grey, of course, never really my cup of tea. I've heard about 7 or 8 tracks by them. About half of them I can't stand. The other half, interesting to good. So, and a lot of other bands, Visual Kai stuff, a lot of them sound very similar. So I never really got into listening to all the other stuff that was out there. And it's thanks to reaction videos that I do know more about some Japanese bands now and have purchased Japanese albums. Some albums I can't actually buy because they're not available over here. They're only available on import, and they're far too expensive. It's ridiculous prices to get. And it's that sort of putting your head in the sand, not understanding how it works anymore, not understanding how these can help you. These reaction channels help. Thanks to this reaction channel, watching reaction channels, not this one, other reaction channels which have got actual viewers at the moment, I've been able to find out that Amorphis' new album was coming out. I don't tend to scroll through reams and reams of YouTube to go like, oh, the latest album, that album's coming out, that album's coming out. There's so much out there. So, and there's several other rock and metal bands I've actually discovered through reaction channels that I didn't even know existed, even though I've been listening to music for a long time. I've got lots of music. I have magazines and things that I read. I go to websites, etc. Reaction channels actually help. They create a social environment around which other people can involve themselves and discover music they actually like, or discover that music they heard about might be up their alley, turns out to be I don't really like that after all. And that's what these channels are about. They're not about stealing music. They're not about taking profits from your coffers. They're about helping your artists and your bands. Now, Pictures, Noise and Words got hit by 2 strikes the other day, and his argument, his statement, whatever you want to call it, was much more cogent and intelligible than what I've just gone on about. So I'm going to click to his video. Yes, steal his stuff. Put it on here, and you can hear what he has to say about it. And then afterwards, we'll see what's what.
So yeah, so I can't actually do Japanese music on my channel anymore, which is rather upsetting. It's very damaging for how the West views Japan. They've the Japanese music industry has attacked a lot of channels like mine in the last couple of days, and all of these channels, we don't all talk to each other, you don't get me wrong, but we are connected. We do keep track of each other, and we do comment on each other's stuff, and so all the people who watch these channels are getting a bad view of Japan. I've seen comments, not necessarily in my comments, but I've seen 1 or 2 in my comments, but also on other channels' comments saying the Japanese are like this or like that, or da-da-da. I do not believe this to be true. In the 6 months that I have been doing this, I have had nothing but respect for the Japanese people. Everyone has been very nice to me. Junichi has given up hours and hours of his time to translate these videos, for nothing, for no return. I get no return, he gets no return. I've had countless messages from people in Japan. I've discovered so much great music. It's the corporate mentality that's the problem, and that is not a Japanese thing. There are terrible corporations everywhere. In the UK, in America, Germany, France, name a country, any country, business is not a friendly place. It's just that unfortunately in Japan, it's the Japanese music corporations that are, what's the right word? A bit crazy, I think. We will get to the video, so if I'm boring you, skip on to the video bit, okay? But I just need to say something about this. Can you imagine if the boss of a company goes to the marketing department and says, I want worldwide exposure, I want it to appeal to any age group, any gender, I want it to be free. So I want worldwide exposure to everyone, any age, any gender, any orientation, whatever. I want it to be free. In fact, no, you know what? I don't want it to be free. I want to make money off it. I want every time someone looks at our marketing, I get some money. The marketing department would all just quit their jobs because it would be impossible to deliver. But we're doing it for them. We get no money from this, and they can monetize our videos. And people from all over the world, I'm in the UK, but people from all over the world see these videos and go, ooh, baby metal, or ooh, Ninganisu. I had lots of comments of people who have bought Ninganisu albums because they found them on my channel. People who would never have found Ninganisu. And all the other things like, you know, Bandmade and whoever, you know. And it, not only is the record industry getting this exposure for free, they can actually make money off it. Every time someone clicks on my video, if they've put an advert on my video, which they have the right to do because they own the copyright, I have no argument with that. Every time someone clicks on that and watches that advert before they see my video, the record company gets some money. But instead, the Japanese music industry has tried to shut all of these channels down, take all of the content away, so that the bands are only seen by the people that the record company can show them to, which would be mostly in Japan. So instead of being a worldwide band, they're just going to be in Japan. I do not understand this. I understand it if you see somebody who has a channel who just steals people's music videos, doesn't do anything with them, just plays them on his channel and gets advertisement revenue for himself, which would be very hard to do, to be honest. But if somebody did do that, I can understand them being upset about that. But this is review, and so are a lot of the other channels. You know, I won't name them because I don't want to drag them into my argument, but you know about who I'm talking about, all the other channels out there who put a lot of work in, edit these things together, have things to say about the music. That's fair use. But fair use is ignored on YouTube. It is ignored by the record companies because it's easier to ignore it than to engage with it.
So there you are, was Pictures, Noise and Words. Clever guy, isn't he? I wish I could get to that sort of stage where I can speak like that, but I've seen his earlier videos and he was already at that stage. I've got no chance. Not to match that sort of eloquence. Not without sounding smarmy, which I am, or sarcastic, which I am, or belligerent, which I can be. So he's basically summed up everything I wanted to say in his video there. Whether you agree or disagree, doesn't matter. Like I can say at the end of this very thing, they're the copyright holders. Well, somewhere along the way they have a link to somebody who holds the copyright, and they have every right to block people if they want to. So you can't argue with their rights. You can argue with how they're implementing them and how they really need to think about the artists they represent and how they can get them out there. If they don't want people like me and others doing these kind of videos, so block, 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 how are their artists going to be heard? Most of them are not mainstream. They're not on the TV all the time. They have to be discovered somehow. Reaction videos, I've found, are the best way to discover them. Doing my own, I'm searching for stuff now to put on, to listen to. And of course, I'm being recommended things by people as well to listen to, which I wouldn't have done beforehand, possibly. At least in one, I've done 2 so far recommendations. One I would probably got round to at some stage listening to. The other, never even heard of them. Nocturnal Rites, never heard of them. So if I really liked them, somebody out there might really like them from my reaction video. I've helped that band little tiny bit, just a little tiny bit, maybe. One person out there, one person might see that, might disagree completely with my reaction to it and go, I want to hear more, and they will hear more, and they may go on to buy something by that band. That's what these videos do. So it's always a battle for this sort of stuff. I'm going to carry on fighting. I've only just started, so not unlike some of those who've got hundreds of videos out there and got really, really undermined by these stupid strikes. I'll stop this video here. You've had enough of listening to me. I'm going to try several ways of getting around it. Like I say, on the Auri video, I've put a Daily Motion video on there. I might try with the Japanese stuff. I might try some Japanese stuff, and I might use Dailymotion again, or Vimeo, or something like that, or or I might do the synchronization type stuff where I watch it and the link is on the screen or below for you to click on it at the same time I do to get reactions. I might speak during those things as well instead, so you can listen to music and hear me speaking about things at the same time if you can hear it over the din of your own music. But that's a state that we're in at the moment, with these companies that are full of people who haven't got a clue how to really promote their artists and just see anything outside of their control as a threat. One day they might learn, but it might be a long way away. By then, some of these artists will have finished, gone, and they could have been helped along the way. But, c'est la vie. It's a learning process for everyone. They've got to learn, and we've got to learn how to get around it. That's the internet for you. See you later.